3, 2, 1, vagina.
Vagina. Not cock and balls?
Cock and balls. Oh, do you know what I was doing last night? Such a fanny. I drove past the possum. I was dropping my brother off at his hotel. And there's a dead possum on the road. And I'm like, half a kilometre past it, I'm like, you know, possums sometimes when they get killed, they have like babies in their pouch. And I'm like, oh, what if there's like a baby in the pouch? I'm like, no, there's not a baby in the pouch. But what if there is? And I was like, oh shit. So I Googled it. Should you check if you find a possum if there's a baby in the pouch? It's like, yes, you have to check because they can stay alive for like 3 days, dying slowly. And I'm like, okay, I'll go and check. And this is all, I'm chatting to Grok, and Grok's like, check for cock and balls. Male possums have big ball sacks. If you see a big ball sack, you don't need to check the pouch. And of course I got to this possum and its legs were like closed on top of each other. I was on the side, I was like, damn, so I had to go find a stick, and I'm like pushing this dead possum looking for balls. So like, yep, right enough, giant ball sack. I'm like, phew, no babies, okay. Drive home. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not going to start stopping at every dead possum I see on the road now. Bloody hell.
Well, do they play dead here? Like in the States, we say playing possum, which means that because they pretend to be dead.
Grok said they did, but I don't know if that's, you know, there's opossum and there's possum, and they're different animals, and I don't know if this one plays dead or not. But this one was dead, but it was a male. So
that's so interesting, Daryl. Wow. Okay. I think we might need to do a little therapy around that, but
why? Rescuing animals is a nice thing.
It is. There's a new channel you need to check out. He's this fabulous gay guy who's a writer, but he rescues dogs and animals that are about to be put down and pregnant, especially. And then he videos them giving birth and all the puppies, and really good.
Oh, you know, this is the weird thing about me. I can't watch anything about animal rescues. I get too emotional.
Yeah.
Because I think, I don't know, I care too much, or it's like a trigger or something like that. And as soon as I see, even if it's like a happy ending story, I'm like, I can't watch this. I can't do it.
Really?
Yeah, I just can't do it at all.
I'll just give you a name.
Just in case.
Grace Safa. It's like GRAC, like Grace, and then FFA. He's really good. I love him. He's like a midwife.
I mean, I'll at least look him up on TikTok.
To the doggies. You should.
Oh, I've had 3 hedgehogs in a week as well.
That you've saved or rescued? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure I should film it and put it on TikTok.
You should. The animal rescue stuff, people love it.
They actually
You should definitely be doing videos on that.
Yeah, because like once they've like got their ivermectin and the worms come out, if they're like diseased and whatever, then they lose their spines, and then they grow back finally, and then they're all healthy. Anyway, well, we're going to prepare for this podcast.
Okay.
Allegedly, get her allegedly started.
All right, well, what have you got for us, Daryl?
Okay, welcome to WTF Stories and Advice. I'm Daryl Gove.
And I'm Caroline Cranshaw.
And we are a couple of hypnotherapists who are full of advice and stories.
We are. Funny stories and terrible advice. No, good advice. People pay us a lot of money for our advice, but this is our outlet where we like to joke and laugh and be dicks or vaginas.
And it's interesting you say dicks and vaginas today, because we have a story, well, it's a letter today that somebody's written in about a problem they have with what they're doing with their dick. So.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I've been rummaging in the inbox, and this is an interesting one. I've added something to the end of it as well, which I think you'll find interesting. So it's not a story about me, just in case. The bit at the end, I've got 5 people who've been caught doing something dodgy. And I know my mum now listens to this, so I'm like, just so that you know, what I've added to the end isn't about me. You can listen to it. It's safe. I did not get my willy stuck in a bench.
Oh, in a bench?
Yeah, it's one of the stories at the end.
Okay.
I'm like, keyhole Kev. No, it's another story. Okay. Dear Caroline and Daryl, you've got to help me. I'm about to do something that's going to get me fired or in jail. So I grew up like most guys my age, healthy understanding of sex and what it was, understanding masturbation, not feeling guilty about it. I had access to porn quite easily on the computer when I was home alone. Then later, when I got a tablet, it was on tap whenever I wanted it. So everything was fine. I got a girlfriend, everything was great there. Went through the usual breakups, getting drunk, one-night stands, and finally met my wife. We're happily married and have 2 children. The problem started after the birth of the second. It was tough and needed some surgery to repair things afterwards. Of course, it was no problem going without sex. I love her, and I just wanted her to recover and heal.
Wait, you said I needed surgery.
And it was tough and needed some surgery to repair things afterwards.
Okay, just saying she needed surgery, maybe. Yep.
I was talking about the vagina.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Most men wouldn't call it it. That's a gay tell right there.
Oh no, it refers to the birth. The birth.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the problem started after the birth of the second. The birth was tough and needed some surgery to repair things afterwards. Of course, it was no problem going without sex. I love her and just wanted her to recover and heal. Our youngest is now 2, and sex really just hasn't restarted. Once or twice she'll blow me off or we'll start fooling around, but then she all of a sudden closes off and withdraws. It crushes me. I do understand it's not about me. She can tell me she loves me, but the sex just isn't there. There's something blocking her. And when I suggest therapy, she gets so embarrassed. She says there's no way she's talking to another person about this. In the meantime, life is quite normal. My job is boring. My friends all have children of their own. So social life consists of children's birthday parties. I like it because there's always so much laughter and happiness, though the conversation always stays so surface in front of the children. I don't really get to talk about this with my mates. The part of this I really need help with started last year. So I was busting to let one off, but the wife wasn't feeling it. So I went to the... Look at you giggling.
Bust one off. Slam. Fire hose. Yeah. It's got to go spray a room. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, he's put some good imagery in here. The wife wasn't feeling it. So I went to the kitchen to make us a hot cocoa before bed and thought, I bet I can knock one out before the water is hot. I did. And it was fun. My wife came to check just after I finished and had hidden the evidence. She asked what I was doing, looked suspicious, but I smiled and said, just making the cocoa. That one sneaky kitchen cocoa wank lit a fuse I didn't expect. At first, it was just a quick thrill because she was right there in the next room. But after a few times, normal wanks at home in the shower or when she was out just started to feel flat, boring. Like they weren't even doing anything for me anymore. The only thing that got my heart racing was the risk. And that's when it escalated. The worst part is the guilt that starts to creep in at home. My wife already hates it when I masturbate. She sees it as me rejecting her or choosing porn over her. Every time I sneak one of those danger sessions, I feel like I'm lying to her face. She's asked me a couple of times lately if something's going on because I seem distant or always distracted. I brush it off, but I can tell she's starting to suspect. The secrecy is quietly eating at our marriage, and I hate it, but I can't seem to stop. She absolutely hates it when I masturbate, but now I have a new fun way to do it. I just always have to do it in private. I talked to my gay friend about it. You should all have a gay friend, guys. You can just be honest with them. He said it's called a danger wank. Even I'm just laughing at your face. Yeah. Danger wank. Remember Danger Mouse?
Yeah, that's
Danger
exactly what I'm thinking
wank.
about.
That song's been in my head since I heard it. Since I read it. Even the name makes it sound fun. I'll have a shower in the morning. A wife sometimes joins, sometimes doesn't. We have this giant shower with 2 heads. Danger wank time before she gets there. I'll be bored at a work meeting. Danger wank. But it gets worse. I'll park at the park and ride. No one's around. Danger wank. I'll be on the bus or train in a quiet carriage. Danger wank.
Oh no.
The more quick I have to be, or the more danger of being caught, the more thrilling it is. I've danger wanked in the park, while driving, in the changing rooms at my local clothing store. I've even danger wanked parachuting. And no, it wasn't tandem. I go solo. The most exciting... I know. I was like, that's...
He come up with like stuff splattered on his face.
Or you can imagine somebody down below and they're like, I didn't see a bird above me, wiping the bird poo off their head.
Oh, no. Oh. I hope you're keeping it in your jumpsuit. Yeah, better not be spraying hazard or bio waste around.
I can't imagine it'd be easy to get it out of a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
You'd feel like it'd have to be some kind of prepared in advance. I don't know. How would that even work?
I don't know.
Are there any parachuters here? Write in and let us know how that would work.
Maybe he's gotten to the point where he can just like rub it from the outside and do it.
If he's doing it that quick, like...
You're training yourself to be a premature ejaculator is what you're doing.
That's what he's doing, although he seems to be proud of it or happy of it. At least.
Okay, let's not make fun of too much. Yep.
Again, sorry, Mr.
Speed wanky.
Speed wank. Is it a danger wank or a speed wank? Is there a competition?
Who can come the fastest? Yeah, I think a lot of men would qualify for that one. Anyways, okay, yeah, sorry. I digress.
I'm just imagine the speed wank Olympics. No, I don't think they're going to make that a sport anytime soon because women wouldn't be able to enter.
Nor would they want to. Yeah. Or watch. It'd be just who would go to that one?
I don't know.
Actually, it'd be like a car accident, right? You don't want to look, but you wouldn't be able to help yourself.
Would you know? I don't know.
If I was walking by and there was like speed wanking competition inside, I'd be like, okay, maybe. Crack the door open and just peek.
Get blinded. But you wear glasses, luckily.
Yes, this is why. This is why I wear these large glasses. They're protecting my eyes.
Very wise.
Speed wankers.
It's for watching all the speed wanking. I mean, you have to imagine they'd be pretty fast if they'd made it past the nationals and on to the Olympics. Like that, you know, they're not going to be sitting about. Okay, so he says, I've even danger wanked parachuting, and no, it wasn't tandem. I go solo. The most exciting is the elevator, because I don't know when it will stop or how long I've got. I think this is the one that risks me getting in a lot of trouble. Actually, that's funny. This is not entirely related, but the first time like I pulled at a nightclub and hooked up with a guy, we hooked up in a glass elevator. So it was winter and it was freezing. It's the only place we could find. I actually cut that out.
I'm leaving that in.
I think I was 18 and he was 29 and he was super cute. Yeah.
Glass elevator, so everyone could see. You weren't like having full sex in the elevator or anything.
No, we didn't.
No, maybe not.
No, we're just hooking up. And it was nighttime and it was dark, you know, so nobody would have seen. But it was just, that was the only place we could find it wasn't freezing. Get in the elevator quick. Not the same elevator as Danger Wank guy, though. Okay, just to be clear.
Okay.
Although
how do you
did
know?
it in a glass one? Yeah, how do we know?
Oh yeah, that would not be good. Yeah.
Nah, because he'd be arrested.
Yeah,
people would definitely see him doing that. Okay. Last week in the office elevator, it nearly ended me. I was on the way down from level 12, pants open, going for it, when the lift stopped on level 8. I had about 2 seconds to yank my trousers up before the doors opened and 2 of my female colleagues stepped in.
Well, he's putting his trousers down? He's down trowing.
I don't know. I mean,
Just
I guess
unzip your fly. Come on. So he's really trying to. That's like pulling your pants down to take a piss at the urinals. What are you, 5? Sorry.
there's this. I don't know who he is. He's British. I've seen him on a couple of TikTok clips, and he's like this gay guy. And you've sent me a clip with him in it. And anyway, he seems to be some celebrity over there, and he can't go to the toilet to poo unless he's completely naked. And he was being interviewed. He's like, "Oh my god, how do you know this?" Graham Norton was asking him. He's like, "How do you know this?" It's like, "Yeah, I can't. Like sometimes I even have to take my socks off. I just can't poo if I've got anything on." Weird, right?
I hope you poo at home. I guess if you're in a cubicle, but like in the States, a lot of times they will have the cubicles like quite low and high because so many people go into the cubicles and do drugs so that you can't do that or do dodgy things in. So you would see if someone was naked. Anyways.
I bet he never visits the States. Oh gosh, this is terrible. Sorry. Okay. So he yanked his trousers up before the doors opened and two of my female colleagues stepped in. One of them even said, "You okay? You look really flushed." I could barely speak. I still had cum on my hand when I shook my head and mumbled something about the heat. I swear they could smell it.
Oh no. I think people just write in to like say shocking shit. So we'll go, it's like the adult baby letters we get.
It's like they're trying to brag or something like that.
They know we're going to be like, oh my God. Anyways,
actually,
yep.
You could be right. Wait till you see what he says a little bit later. I swear it was way too close. It got to the point where I can't even have a normal wank now. If there's no risk of being caught, it's just not thrilling. The problem is, I'm worried. Will I get caught at work and lose my job? Yes, you will. Will someone see me in the park and call the police? Yes, they're gonna. Will I get cum somewhere and get in trouble? Probably, yes. I don't know what to do. My gay friend, and yes, he has a name, but don't want to expose myself for him, said to write to you guys. I listened to a few of your podcasts and found the advice really helpful and laughed while listening. Just so you know, I probably knocked one out while you read this out, just to prove I could.
That wouldn't be impressive because we've talked about it for a while now. But
yeah, and like we could have like paused this 10 times and you don't know how we edited it. So yeah. So here's what I really need your help with. How do I stop chasing the danger hit before I actually get caught, fired, or worse? Do I tell my wife what I've been doing? How do I get the thrill back in the bedroom with her instead of risking everything? I don't want to blow up my family, but I also don't know how to go back to normal wanks anymore. Please help. And the addendum that I mentioned at the beginning with the story about the man in the bench and stuff, I will tell after. First, we need this advice. Okay, so how do we help this man, Caroline, with the danger wanks? What would you say to a client?
Number one, don't tell your wife, because I think she'll be fucking horrified. At least not yet. And not the full fucking story. Jesus Christ.
No. Do you think he's lying a little bit? Like, do you believe all of those wanks? I don't know.
How did you get your hands? Why would you put your pants down in the elevator? And how did you get your pants up and buckled with cum in your hand is what I would like to know. But hey, I don't know. Some guys are pretty wily, right? You need therapy immediately.
Even if she doesn't
and
come.
Someone, with a wife. I think, number one, you need to find a therapist for yourself who specializes with sexual addiction disorders. And if you can, find someone who also does hypnotherapy, right? Because, regular therapy can be really helpful, but there's obviously some type of subconscious driver going on. I would also look at getting assessed for ADHD, because if you're chasing dopamine hits like that, that could be something along the lines. I'll put a little quiz into the notes. If you think you have ADHD, it's a really good little quiz that tests for several different types. You need to sit down with your wife and talk about how you love her, want to be with her, but this also being married, as long as that's what you signed up for and haven't made other arrangements, involves having a sexual relationship. So that needs to change, because I find a lot of, and it's not always the women, because sometimes it's men, but a lot of partners will be like, oh, well, I'm fine with it though. Like, and you can't cheat on me or do anything else, but they expect you to live in this sexless marriage. And that is not okay. That is not, unless you're both happy with that, that's not a marriage. That's a flatmate situation. So you've got to sit her down and say, we need some help. We do need to talk to someone about it. If she absolutely refuses to change it, she won't let you masturbate, she won't have sex with you, and she won't talk to anyone and won't change it, then how long do you want to do that for? You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. If someone, we all get issues, we all have conflicts in our relationships, but if someone 100% refuses to address it or do anything about it, to me, cut your losses. Like, that sounds terrible and harsh, but people go, oh, well, wait till the kids are older. Wait till the kids are older so you can traumatize them more, is what you're doing. The younger you split up, the better it is for your children. Obviously, she probably needs to go to like a pelvic floor physio, someone to help her out. Because why isn't she not wanting sex? Is she having pain? Is it low desire? Has she talked to her doctor about it? So she does need to see someone, or they need to see someone together that can support. But you need to get control of this behavior immediately. I personally have sent 2 men to jail for masturbating in front of me, not ones I was dating. Wow. So, yeah, I'm sure I've told the stories.
Yeah, you've told them. Yeah.
Yeah, so and they went for like 6 months. And New Zealand's different. He sounds to me like he's either in New Zealand or in the UK or Australia. He's not in the US. In the US, they are going to throw the book at you. Not so much here.
Because where you're at, sir, is that having fun and there's doing some dodgy things and there's even cheating and there's things that are potentially morally ambiguous or wrong. And then there's stuff that's legally wrong. And if those girls opened up that elevator and caught you at it, then you're in big, big trouble. You know, it may not just be losing the job.
And a lot of elevators have cameras.
Yeah, I bet he's been caught on cameras.
But obviously it must not, or there's not someone sitting there reviewing the footage. But yeah, exactly. What if the elevator's doors open and it was little kids?
Yeah, then he's in
you know
big,
what I mean?
Big
you
trouble.
are going to be a registered sex offender. Like, you're going to not be able to go near schools and shit if you get caught with children be able to see. One of the guys, he went for a long time, 6 months in jail, and he had a pregnant wife with twins. So this is really serious, out of control behavior that also then tends to escalate. Goes into peeping Tom type behavior or dangerous, risky sexual behavior with other people. Mm-hmm. So you need to go get some help immediately and be very honest with the therapist. You cannot shock us. Anyone who's worth their salt, anyone who's done this more than a couple of years, there's nothing that phases a therapist, right? We're like, is that all you got?
Yeah, I was listening to this trauma therapist today talking about how the people that worked under him, he wanted to get them some hypnosis because they were so traumatized passively. And I'm like, us hypnotherapists, I don't think we get vicarious trauma as badly. I think, we see so much all the time, and it's not that it can't happen or that we don't sometimes, but yeah, nothing faces us. Like we hear it all, and it's just so good for clearing it.
And I think with the difference with adding hypnotherapy at the end, I think the therapist, well, I know for myself as a therapist, is you're clearing it and putting a container around it and shifting how you view it as well, not only for your client, but for yourself as well. But
of course, yeah.
Yeah, I certainly was traumatized a lot in the beginning by all kinds of stuff. But I think my experience is probably a little different to most because I would just see everyone for everything and, was pretty like, I can handle that. But then I had a lot of childhood trauma. So that's probably made me not as shocked or traumatized by things either. But you really need to go get help. You need to look at what's driving this.
I think that goes for like everyone that writes in. If you're writing in and the problem's quite serious, like, sure, we're going to give you some advice, but also think if you're writing to us, you should also be getting some one-on-one help, usually, depending what it is.
Book an appointment with me. I will help you with that. I've had clients doing that. Absolutely. I may be laughing, but...
And she won't call you a dipshit to your face, only.
No. Call you numbnuts or...
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Or danger nuts. Danger nuts. Danger nuts.
No, we don't call you any names. We just do that on the podcast. No, I'm sorry that you're going through this. It's an addiction, and it's a risky addiction. And you're going to end up in jail pretty quick because you're escalating the behavior. So then you're not going to have a choice of danger wanks, right? You will be wanked or have plenty of people wanking on you and doing a lot of other stuff as well.
You'll be danger bombed.
Especially if you go to jail for a sexual offense. They don't treat you too well in prison.
No, and even if it seems like it's less dodgy, if you are marked as somebody that's a sexual offender, then yeah, you're not going to be treated well in jail. And if you want, I've got some inspiration if you like. Inspired by your letter, because it was really interesting, I compiled a list of 6 famous danger wanks.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So let this be a warning for you. Okay.
Yep. I can think of a few.
Number 1, which you'll know this one, Paul Rubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman, allegedly. Remember, allegedly.
It wasn't alleged. He was caught red-handed, and everyone knew afterwards. Poor
I'm saying
him.
it just.
He was in a porn movie theater, and it was a total setup with an undercover cop. Like, what do you think those floors are sticky?
Ugh. Yes, you have cut to the chase with that one. So back in July 1991, squeaky clean children's TV icon.
Sorry.
Now you're good. Fresh off of Pee Wee's Playhouse, was visiting family in Sarasota, Florida. Feeling bored one night, he slipped into the South Trail Cinema, an adult theater showing gems like Nurse Nancy and Catalina 5-0 Tiger Shark. Undercover cops were running a sting and caught him openly masturbating during the film. When they realized who he was, Rubens reportedly told them, "I'm Pee Wee Herman," but he probably said it like, "I'm Pee Wee Herman." And even offered to do a children's benefit show for the sheriff's office if they drop the exposure of sexual organs charge. They said no and skipped charging him with attempted bribery. He pleaded no contest, did community service filming anti-drug PSAs, and the scandal absolutely nuked his wholesome image for years. A classic case of the secret life colliding with the public persona. Okay, handy way to derail a career. And that's kind of sad in a way. I mean, it's illegal and it's dodgy, but it's like a porn theater, right? Which exists, and it wasn't closed down.
Yeah, he wasn't in a public space with unassuming people who, that's what they used to do in those theaters. But anyways.
He wasn't doing it in a lift with his girl workmates about to walk in.
Exactly. And he was very talented. And Pee-wee's Playhouse was not a kid show. I am sorry, but it was not. I loved it. I used to watch it, but it definitely had adult themes to it. I thought that one was very sad. Okay, so next.
Number 2, Fred Willard. In 2012, at age 72, the comedy legend from Best in Show and Anchorman got arrested at the Tiki Theatre in Hollywood Adult Cinema. Vice cops on a routine patrol spotted him with his pants down and penis exposed and in his hand. He was booked for lewd conduct, but the charges didn't stick, unlike his semen. A week later on, Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, he went on these shows, both, and owned it with self-depreciating, "It was embarrassing as hell." And he joked about never listening to his wife's movie night suggestions again.
Was that his wife? Because isn't he the one that in Best in Show said he needed to have a penis reduction? Is he the one? He's older. Yeah, he's a crack up again. I didn't know that one.
It cost him his PBS gig temporarily, but the old pro bounced back laughing. Nothing says national treasure like getting busted in a porn theater at 72.
That's ridiculous.
I know. It's sad, but again, guys, look, you got to be careful. Don't go to a porn theater where it's illegal and bust a nut and get caught, okay?
Yeah.
Jason Russell, who was a filmmaker. In 2012, Jason Russell's Coney 2012 video exploded. Over 100 million views in days, turning this activist into an overnight global sensation. 10 days later, the pressure cooker blows. In San Diego Pacific Beach, witnesses watched him running naked through traffic, vandalizing cars, pounding the pavement with his fists, screaming and masturbating in public, allegedly.
Wait, who's this guy?
He's a filmmaker and a big overnight success all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. TMZ even dropped the video. He was detained and hospitalized. Doctors blamed extreme exhaustion, dehydration, and a brief psychotic episode from sudden fame and 24/7 stress. His wife said there were no drugs or alcohol, just the human brain hitting the wall. So sad. I have a hard time believing there's no drugs or alcohol, but people can go psychotic with not enough sleep, for example, or maybe too much weed.
They can.
Yeah.
They can. Well, weed is actually a very common cause of psychosis. Interesting. What about George Michaels? Didn't he get caught masturbating?
He got caught cottaging, going for public bathroom sex.
Okay. So he just approached somebody, right, who happened to be an undercover cop.
Yeah, or vice versa. I guess that's how it happened. I was pretty young when that happened, but I remember it being in the news.
Yeah, I remember that one too. But I don't think he had exposed himself. He just tried to solicit sex or something like that. But they're just all kind of those, except for the guy who had the psychotic episode, they all were kind of setups of undercover cops, like entrapment in a way.
Yeah, even with George Michael.
I don't agree with arresting anyone in a porn thing. Public restrooms, that's well known that gay men tend to hook up. I've got a few
I don't think they have since the internet.
Oh, no, they still do. They definitely do.
You've got a friend that you told me some stories about. I can't say, can I?
No.
No.
But.
And it's not fair to yours. No, it's not.
Well, even I have clients tell me some crazy stuff as well. Like just right in the little village where I live, there's a nude beach not too far away. And apparently, so all these guys go and take a walk down to the beach, and they go down to this nude beach, and there's all kinds of public sex going on. It's crazy stuff.
I remember there's a beach on the North Shore, and I was with my mum and dad and my girlfriend, and we stopped, and they kept walking along this cliff, and then 10 minutes later they came back and they're like, oh. We're like, what? They're like, we looked down at the beach and there was like people with boners and having sex and all sorts.
I think the cops are more lenient in New Zealand. I think they're too busy to be going around trying to arrest people that are wanking in places like that here in New Zealand. If you get robbed, they don't even show up. They're not going to show up if someone's dick's out. They're like, well, look away. What's your problem? But public places, that's not a nude beach.
Do you remember how George Michael got his own back for being prosecuted for that? He released a song, Outside. You have to look it up, Let's Go Outside. And he sings about being bad and so on. But the music video is in a toilet with a disco ball, and there's like policemen in the toilet and like dancing, let's go outside.
No, I don't know that one.
Oh, you have to check it out. It's like, he's like, I was naughty and I was bad, but fuck you.
Yeah. I saw a really fun one or funny one. I don't know if you remember Afro Man. I think that was his name.
Yeah, because I got high.
Yeah. So they did some raid on his house and busted in and did all this stuff. And I don't think they found anything. Like he wasn't doing anything illegal. It was just cops being assholes. So then he made a song saying the sheriff's a son of a bitch. And he did and he had cameras all in his house. So he had all this footage of the different things they were doing in his house. So they sued him for the song. And then they had to prove that they're not a son of a bitch. And all this. It was the ultimate revenge. It was awesome. Yeah, look up the story, Afro Man. So funny.
Oh, brilliant.
Good on him. Yeah.
Well, we got two more of these ones. We got Jeffrey Toobin.
Oh, yep. I remember this one.
October 2020, peak remote work during the pandemic. CNN star legal analyst and longtime New Yorker writer Jeffrey Toobin is on a Zoom election simulation call with colleagues, including Jane Mayer. He thinks he's muted the video or stepped away, but nope, and everybody sees him masturbating. He later called it an embarrassingly stupid mistake and a self-inflicted disaster he'll regret forever. He was fired from The New Yorker, suspended from CNN, and eventually returned to CNN 8 months later, but the clip lives on in the ultimate, you're on mute. Wait, no you're not. Cautionary tale of modern danger wanking.
So many guys got busted for this over COVID.
Yeah.
Like, how many videos have you seen where people are like, no, your camera's not off? They'll minimize it or something, think they've muted it or turned their camera off, minimize it so they don't even see it on the screen.
Or they'll have a laptop or they'll have a camera somewhere else or something like that.
Yeah, and they just know, and all the people are like, no, stop. I know. I think if I was in charge of that call, I would just end the call or something. Or if I didn't like the person, I would let them hang themselves. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that was terrible.
Okay, now I told you earlier about the park bench guy. So Hong Kong park bench guy called Lee Xing. August 2008, Lam Tin Park, Hong Kong. There was a typhoon, level 3 that night. Lonely 41-year-old Lee Xing spots a hole in a metal outdoor exercise bench. and decides it looks like a good idea for some alone time. He sticks his penis in and it gets stuck. It swells up and it is trapped. Firefighters were called and paramedics spent 4 hours trying to free him. They even tried draining the blood from the penis, everything, before they had to cut the bench off, take him and the 2.5 meter bench to the hospital to cut him out.
You know how the best stories are firemen. Firemen are, because that's who they send. And a lot of times then they send them to the hospital for the guys that dicks are stuck in their vacuum cleaner or this, because they've got the equipment to get the stuff off of them. And it is, yeah. If you're a fireman and you've got some of these stories, tell us, because it's so bad. What? You never hear stories about this like from women, right? How many women have you heard of that got caught wanking on camera?
To be fair, when I used to work for an emergency medicine nurse, she left and she bought a cafe. She did tell me some stories about women. Yeah.
There are a few.
But not as many.
It's like 0.1%, and then the other 99.9% are men. Because you guys are dirty, dirty bastards.
Dirty bastards. Yeah. I wonder how many of these people were drunk. But this guy's sober, the Danger Wank guy. Right?
Did
my
he say
advice,
that?
well, I assume that if
he
he's at
did.
work or he's driving, I forgot my advice for him is like find something else that's dangerous that's like not wanking. Like, I don't know, race car driving. Okay, so the doctor said he was lucky that he didn't lose the thing. This is Lee Shing, the park bench guy. He told the cops a story about doing push-ups and his pants falling down.
I'm like, uh-huh.
But
Sure.
reports called him lonely and disturbed. The ultimate physical danger wank. And the last one, which is a bit of a sad one. Even the most feared Boston mob boss isn't safe, Caroline. In 2015, 86-year-old James Y.T. Bulger, serving life in Florida Federal Penitentiary, is caught by a guard masturbating in his cell with the lights on at 3 a.m. Prison rules ban all sexual activity, so he gets 30 days in solitary, 120 days no commissary or email, and his personal stuff confiscated for a month. His defense? He was just applying medicated powder to a genital rash that he was too embarrassed to tell the female nurses. And he keeps the lights on 24/7 because he has nightmares from the 1950s LSD experiments he did while in federal prison for bank robbery. So that is Whitey Bulger, punished for having a wank in prison. There we go.
That's ridiculous. Again. What? Yeah. So no masturbation allowed in prison. You really think guys aren't going to masturbate? That's where the danger wanks will be happening.
I think you can with the lights off, but he left the light on.
And under the blanket. Yeah. So they can't see what you're doing.
Yeah.
86. Impressive.
Well, yeah, well done. And I think this story is important. These stories are important for you, Mr. Danger Wank guy, because, which is now your name. Because, see, you read these stories or hear these stories, and apart from the bench one, they're probably not that bad. It's not like they're not harming another person. There's nobody else involved. However, because it's not legal and because there are rules in place to protect just in case, they ended up getting in big trouble. What you're doing, you could get in big trouble. There are other dangerous things you could do. You could take up motorcycle riding, race car driving. You could, I don't know, learn to cook and get really sharp knives and use hot fire. What sort of other dangerous things you could do? Rock climb.
Yeah. Rock climbing. He's already skydiving, obviously. I don't know, just regular diving.
Muff diving.
Muff diving. Yeah. There's a lot of or eat a muff burger. And some Australian guy, I watched some hilarious video and he was saying, he's funny as hell. They were asking what Australian delicacies there are. And he's like going on about muff burgers and how you can eat a muff at any time. But you obviously are getting addicted to the dopamine hit. You need to talk to your wife and talk to a professional who can help you. Some part of you is driving this. Maybe some part of you is trying to sabotage your life.
Are you trying to leave and you don't want to break up with your wife and you're trying to get caught and get in trouble? Like with serial killers, and they get more and more dangerous, more and more overt. Are you trying to get caught? Ask yourself that, what would happen if you're caught? What will happen if you're not caught? Is it that you're trying to end things and you're completely self-sabotaging. There's so many better ways to self-sabotage that don't end up putting you into pedo jail, right? For like accidentally doing it in front of a kid. So yeah, you can danger wank at home as much as you want in the privacy of your own home. Okay.
Yeah. But you don't want your kids seeing that either.
Right. But if you're in your bathroom or it's like they're at school or what. Yeah.
You're young.
So yeah, look, just get therapy. Just get therapy.
Get some therapy.
Don't
it's going to
take
be
any risks.
okay. Join Sex and Love Addicts Law is really good. Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous. We'll put some resources down.
Because this is like an addiction. This is not like just a thing that you're doing. Like you might think, oh, I'm just doing this and I can't stop. Like it's an addiction and it's just like drugs or alcohol. You need help with it, or gambling. Like if you try and do this on your own, you're going to get stuck. So
Or in jail.
Or in jail.
You're getting very close to getting in jail and ruining not just your reputation, but then your wife and kids are going to have to deal with this as well. So it's going to be okay. Thank you for writing to us. We appreciate you trusting us with your story. And had clients doing very similar behavior, and they've gotten over it, and you can change it.
Yes, a ridiculous amount of clients with things in the same vein, and with help, it's actually quite a quick fix. Like out of all of the addictions, I think this one can be quite a quick one, because when you detox from it, there's not like a physical withdrawal that lasts very long, right? So if you were able to stop tomorrow, then you could be fine in a few days. Like you could just be fine with a few days, or at least a few weeks. I don't think you have to worry about like missing this for the rest of your life, but maybe there's room for some more excitement as well. So therapy, deal with it. We're going to have to run, but if you want to write into us and let us know how it's going, WTFstoriesandadvice@gmail.com. If you're a fireman and you've got some good stories, WTFstoriesandadvice@gmail.com. Or if you're on one of those calendars that they have in New Zealand and Australia and you want to send a copy to us, WTFstoriesandadvice@gmail.com.
And thanks for writing in, and we will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.